this is Martin Hale from IT Masters and Charles Sturt University. I'm just going to do a short info session here looking at fees and payment options to do a master's degree with Charles Sturt University. Well, let's have a look at the fees. The fees are $3,000 per subject or $3,100 for overseas. Now all the masters are 12 subjects in duration, so if you don't get any credit, you'd be up for $36,000 to do the masters. You pay at the beginning of each study session. We have 3 study sessions a year, so we don't call them semesters, we call them sessions. So if you're doing 1 or 2, and 2 is the normal load, 2 subjects at a time, you would pay for those 2 subjects at the beginning of the session. We get a lot of people come back to us and say they've been advised by their tax agent that this is not tax deductible. Well, that's not correct. They are tax deductible providing you're working in the industry. These are full fee, and the confusion there is that undergraduate, where they're government assisted HECS funded positions, they are certainly not tax deductible, but these are tax deductible, again providing it's relevant to your career. And includes everything you need. Unlike some unis, we've got to go off and buy your textbooks, or worse still, find your textbooks, which can be a challenge. It includes everything you need to do your study, and study guides, or a lot of e-learning these days, and e-books are provided to you at the beginning of the session. And just a final point about fees and payment. If you're a bit nervous about paying for it, and if it's not working out for you, as with all universities, you have up until 4 weeks in the session to pull out and get a refund of your fees. It may be that you're getting a bit busy at work, or something's happening in your social life. Yes, definitely. All you have to do is advise that you need to pull out. If you're going to do the subject again in the future, you would hold on to your materials and reuse them again. The option to pay for your fees, if you're an Australian citizen, is Fee Help, and just about everyone uses Fee Help. In fact, it'd almost be silly not to use it, even if you did have the funds. It's a government study loan. It's interest-free, indexed to CPI. It covers all your tuition fees, and as I said, all the materials are supplied with us, so there is no other cost. Your Fee Help will pay for it. For undergraduate loans, the ones I mentioned before, there's a 25% loan fee. Well, this does not apply. Again, these are full fee programs. So again, if someone mentions you've got to pay your loan fee, no, you don't. The only thing, it's indexed to CPI. And there's if you do early repayments over $500, there's a bonus amount, and that's why I said before, if you actually had the money and you wanted to pay for it without taking a loan, you would be better off to take a loan and pay it back early and get your 5% bonus. Paying for it is a very simple. For once, all you do is when you get your offer to study, and it will say, how would you like to pay for your first session? You just tick the Fee Help area, and that's organised between the university and the government. Then the government lends the university the money for you to do your studies. Then the repayment starts to occur depending on your wage. It's indexed. Once you hit a certain wage, you start paying a percentage back out of your wage. And that repayment begins at, these are last year's figures, it may have gone up a bit, 51,000 or thereabouts, and starts at 4%, up to a maximum of 8%. So it's a pretty painless way. Personally, I think Fee Help's a fantastic alternative for people. It certainly means that no one has to forego studies simply by not having the money available. And we're talking about fees. What's a potential return on investment of your $36,000 if you decide to do a master's degree? I've actually done a whole another recording looking at this in some more detail, but let's just have a look at these numbers. These are numbers from the last Australian census, and I think you find they're pretty accurate because they're cross-checked with the Australian Tax Office, and they get a please explain if you put a different amount in one or the other. So the question was on the census, for everyone who's working in IT, and there was 224,000 people said they were working in the Australian IT industry. They then asked how much you earned and also what level of qualification you had. And there's the difference. You see there's quite a marked difference between, in the IT industry, between people, what their earnings are with no university qualification. There's a bachelor's degree and then there's a master's degree. If you're sitting out there without a bachelor's degree and you're considering going straight into your master's, there's a minimal difference there. Because they did indicate some people, some of the people had just a master's degree, and it didn't seem to impact greatly on their earning. If we then want to have a look at what's the impact over your whole career, let's assume you work for 25 years. If you multiply the difference between, there's the type of earnings you would get, and then you can extrapolate that down the bottom and do a return on investment. So 36,000 divided into your 278,000 will give you a return on investment figure of 7.6, which, given this is fairly low risk and the numbers are quite frankly pretty clear, I think most investment people will tell you that's a fantastic investment. Return on investment is 7.6. Okay, when can you start? We have 3 sessions a year, so you can start at any of those times. And if you've got any questions, you can email to me, email inquiries at ITmasters, or you can call us, just pick up the phone and ring if you want to ask about fees and fee help and anything like that. Don't hesitate to give us a ring. Okay, thanks for listening, and even if you don't study with us, good luck with the future and your future study. Thanks very much.